Hey guys, so we're just gonna use the new M2 for a bit. It's actually amazing. It's for me, it's easily my best performing gun. It doesn't really have any downsides. I know a lot of players say it can't do range. I must have mind. I know a lot of players say it can't do range, but for me it does range just as well as an STG. It's a little bit worse, but it's still better than pretty much every other gun in that range. That's a good example right there of how it can do range. And then I think with the scope, I've not really tried many scope builds. I think I was told scope, no bullet is amazing for range. I've not really used it that much, so I don't know how far you have to lead. Oh, this could be bad. I'll whistle and let them know I'm here. Seems like we're against a few vets. Yeah, it's such a super strong gun. And then the hip fire is just so much better than almost everything right now. Nice streak. I think compared to the MG42, which a lot of people tout as being the best time to kill gun in the game, which it's not anymore. That was actually replaced by the MG34 if we're talking about meta builds. And even if we're not, I think the MG34 still beats it. But it's the time to kill the stock. The stock MG42 is 10 milliseconds worse than the M2, and it is 16 milliseconds better against heavyset gold, which is pretty good considering the M2 has none of their downsides. I think there's something wrong with that hitbox sometimes. Oof. Yeah, so if you're gonna buy a capture weapon, I would almost certainly make it. Oh, I'm dead here, this part. Make it an M2 in the current meta. Oof, we found him. Yeah, our team's actually really strong. We're doing really well. Yeah, and I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade. I don't really want to call it overpowered. I don't care if it's overpowered. If it was, just saying. I'm just saying that for me, it's a fantastic gun. Which, for me, performs the best of any of my guns right now. That's a para. We have such a strong team. I really would like if they fixed the object detail bug. Oh no, sorry. Oh. I think as well as the PPSH, a lot of people say it's a good counter to this gun, but it's actually got a slower time to kill when you're using P41, which is why I consider the best ammo. That rock's so annoying because he's over there and he can't crouch, because when you crouch in the water it makes you stand up. So he's basically he's trying to crouch. Oh, poor guy. Oh, para. Oh. I think the other para died. Yeah, so if if you're gonna run around in war, I suggest using the M2 with fast reload on heavy gold. It's pretty amazing. There's another fire, I think. No? Let's not say there aren't other guns that are better at certain things. The M1 Garand, for example, I would consider a much better gun, long and mid, than the M2. And then I would say MG34 is still the true DPS king over the M2. Wait, I'm not sure what gun stood there. I meant the MG34. Oh, those poor guys are all gonna die. I think I need to get this APC instead. Oh, we actually have a guy chasing it. Poor frogs. Oh, this might be hard to hear, but I can still hear that APC. So we'll be able to tell exactly where it goes. He dropped into our spawn. Can't really see him from here. Oh nice, that's nice. Stop! 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 I think as well is the ABS, for example, is still a lot better at long range than the M2. I think it's close. I think it's dependent on the sort of range that you describe as long for the SCG. I think the SCG is certainly better at very long range. But I think the M2 is good up to what I call the actual. Oh. I can hear a car. Guess we'll just stay as this guy for a bit. I was going to change off, but now that we kept this, we'll just keep it out. And then I think as well as a lot of people forget, now that they've changed the bullet, I would say the bullet is a requirement for the M2 to be good. There are certain builds that certainly don't need the bullet, but I've never used any of that. Sorry, I look behind me around. Whereas I would say for the SCG the bullet is not a requirement, though it definitely does help. I know a lot of people aren't convinced of the bullet, but it definitely makes the SCG stronger because it brings the consistency. I would like to rid the world of that. Don't think it's gonna happen. Nice. So obviously there are other downsides, like I mean, compared to like the MP42 and that, like it doesn't have 100 bullets. But then again, its reload doesn't take 8 seconds now. No. Our team's so strong. If I was gonna say what I think would make the M2, and I know a lot of people say the STG is overpowered. I don't know whether it is or not. Don't really use it that often. And the same for the M2. Like, I don't really know whether it is or not, because people say both those guns are overpowered. But if I was going to change one thing about them, I would definitely make them not be able to hit fire at all. But at the same time, I think STG then would lose a lot of its charm. Please stop! No! No. Not like this. Oh, headshot. Ah! This is a super nice gun, like... Ah! I don't even know what I'm shooting at. Maybe if we break this zone and then they cap, we can play for a little bit longer. Stop! This. Yeah, and it's also a headshot machine, the M2. It's just nasty. Yeah, that's pretty much my opinion on it, guys. I'll probably start making mod videos for guns soon. I was going to start with the M2, but I thought then people would think I was being a little bit biased. So that's basically why I did. Yeah, anyway, GG guys, and have a nice week. Peace.